Furthermore, what I believe, if you look at the records of people who are doing these horrible things, whether it's killing police officers or anybody else, you're seeing a lot of mental illness, a lot of mental illness. There are many thousands of people in this country today who are suicidal, who are homicidal, who are not getting the care that they need. I get those calls in my office, frankly. And what we need to do as a nation and say that if somebody calls up and says, you know, I'm worried about my husband, I'm worried about my brother, what he may do, that person should be able to get treatment immediately, not 3 months from now. We are way, way behind where we should be in that area.
This is an issue on which there's a philosophical divide in the country. As I go out and listen to Iowans ask candidates questions, one of the candidate questions asked is, how will you unite the country? How will you govern a country that's so riven with, you know, a philosophical divide?
Good question. This is what I think. I think absolutely. I am lifetime pro-choice. It's the way I am, ain't gonna change. I am pro-gay rights, have been for many, many years, not gonna change. I am one of the leaders in the United States Senate in fighting for the environment and the need to combat climate change, ain't gonna change. But here's what I would say, Kate. Sometimes on other issues, you would be surprised that there is a lot more commonality of thinking than sometimes the media perceives, okay? James asked me about the minimum wage. Well, you know what? Republicans support raising the minimum wage, so do Democrats. Republicans support rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure, so do Democrats. Republicans support a very important issue in dealing with the outrageously high prices of prescription drugs in this country, so do Democrats, and I'm prepared to do that. Many Republicans, by the way, Dean asked me about trade policy, you asked me about trade policies. Guess what? More Republicans are opposed to our trade policies than our Democrats, as a matter of fact. So I think what I can do is bring people together essentially around economic issues, which says, hey, it is time to rebuild the middle class. It is time to demand that the wealthy and large corporations start paying their fair share of taxes. On all of those issues, there is broad support in both political parties. And then what you have to say, guess what? On the abortion issue, we're going to disagree. This is my view. I know I'm not going to convince you. You're not going to convince me. But let us at least work to protect our kids and our parents, make sure we don't cut Social Security, but expand Social Security, et cetera, et cetera.
Before you get to do all that, though, you have to get the nomination. And I'm wondering, the latest polls show you gaining in Iowa, surging, according to some people. Will you win the Iowa caucuses, and do you have to win the Iowa caucuses to be successful?
All of you know, Iowa plays along with New Hampshire, a unique role in American politics. And that's why we have hired, not a coincidence, we have hired dozens of people. We have a great field organization here in Iowa. I have spent a lot of time and will continue to spend time in Iowa. What interests me about the Iowa caucus is you demand a lot more of people than do people in the primary states. You demand people to know my views, to know Hillary Clinton's views, to know Trump's views, and to actually go to a meeting and argue about these things. And I love that stuff because what you're doing is engaging people in the political process. So I'm not here to make predictions. It is very clear that not only in New Hampshire, not only in Iowa, we are gaining momentum.
Final question, Kate.
Okay, Kate.
In 1987, I covered a debate between Michael Dukakis and Jack Kemp over the gold standard. If you had an opportunity to debate the surging Donald Trump and focus on a single issue, what issue would you choose and why?
Well, I think, there are many issues, obviously, huge issues and differences between Trump and myself. But I really have to say, I dislike very much his belief that anybody who criticizes him, anybody who disagrees with him, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for example, just wrote a statement. And he attacked Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in a very personal way because he disagreed with Trump. A president cannot go around attacking everybody just because you disagree with him.
I have to end there, and thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you very much.